The spectacle draws attention, amplifies reach, stokes talk. But it also raises questions of authenticity and privacy. In a world built on image, where is the line between performance and reality? The lingering question, what next? Aftershock lingers. Will Kai and Tan Songyun acknowledge it? Deny it? Say nothing? Will they lean into the romance and give fans what they hope for, or step back and let the moment stand alone? Will drama producers seize on this? Will publicists spin it? Will their fandoms clash or unite? Already, the eyes of the entertainment world turn toward their next moves. Any joint appearance will be dissected. Every glance, every tweet, every posture. The pressure will mount. But for now, the memory of that night remains luminous, unforgettable. When time stopped, the kiss that shattered the stage, Part 2. It started with a whisper. Not in sound, but in sensation, a ripple so small it almost went unnoticed. The presenter's voice had barely finished announcing their names when Kai and Tan Songyun walked out into the white-hot glow of stage lights. Their footsteps were soft, but the effect was thunderous. The crowd was already buzzing. Something about the way they carried themselves hinted at something unspoken, something that neither the cameras nor the fans had prepared for. They paused at center stage. A towering screen behind them flickered with their names in gold script, glinting like fireflies caught in moonlight. The music quieted to a hush, the kind of stillness that precedes the unexpected. Kai adjusted his cuff ever so slightly. Tan Songyun gave a delicate, practiced smile. To the untrained eye, it was an ordinary awards show moment. But to those watching closely, something else was unfolding. A quiet war of glances, of breath, of barely restrained emotion. The scripted lines came and went. They spoke clearly, graciously. They introduced the award. Applause filled the air. And just when the music swelled for the next segment, just when the cue signaled they could leave the stage, he turned to her. Slowly, as though pulled by something older than time. Tan Songyun's eyes widened, caught off guard not by the turn of his head, but by the expression she found there. Kai's gaze was steady. Not dramatic, not exaggerated. Just still. Certain. Focused on only one thing. On her. A breath caught in her throat. There was a split second of silence that seemed to stretch into eternity. The audience noticed it. The cameras noticed it. Even the lights, fixed in their places, seemed to lean in. Kai took a step forward, barely a movement, just enough to close the space between them. And then, in front of thousands seated and millions watching, he reached for her hand. Not for the microphone, not for a handshake, but her hand, open and gentle. His fingers brushed hers, slow, reverent. Tan Songyun didn't pull away. Instead, her fingers curled around his in a quiet surrender. A flutter ran through her chest, and her smile faltered. Not out of fear, but something closer to disbelief. He leaned in. Every heart in the auditorium stopped. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't loud or flamboyant. It was soft, like the beginning of a dream. Kai leaned down, his eyes never leaving hers, and with the calm of someone who had decided long ago what he would do, he kissed her. The moment froze. There were no dramatic sound cues. No fireworks. No over-the-top musical climax. Just silence. Pure, deafening silence. Their lips touched with the grace of a scene not written in any script. Not rushed. Not tentative. But filled with the weight of something long held back. Her eyes fluttered closed. His hand lifted, not to her waist or shoulder, but gently to her cheek. A single touch. Soft as silk, warm as memory. It grounded her in that impossible moment, as though the world had vanished and only the two of them remained, alone on a stage that no longer existed. In the crowd, phones fell from hands. Gasps cut through the air. One fan clutched her chest as tears spilled from her eyes. A journalist in the front row forgot to take a photo. His jaw hung open. A stylist backstage whispered, "This isn't rehearsed," her voice trembling. But the couple at the center of it all moved as though untouched by the chaos. For them, time had slowed. Seconds passed. And then Kai pulled away, not abruptly, not apologetically. He stepped back with the reverence of someone who knew he had changed everything. Tan Songyun opened her eyes slowly, visibly breathless. A hint of a smile, private, delicate, touched her lips. She did not speak. Neither did he. But the electricity between them was louder than any words. The crowd's stunned silence. It took the audience a full 10 seconds to respond. In that space of stunned stillness, emotions boiled over. Confusion, joy, disbelief. Some screamed. Some simply clapped with slow, disbelieving hands. Some didn't know how to react at all. Phones were lifted in delayed reflexes, capturing only the afterglow of the kiss. The host, backstage with a headset on, scrambled. Producers gasped. Cameramen whispered curses under their breath, their fingers struggling to adjust angles. The show director shouted into her mic. Did anyone know that was going to happen? No one did. Even the announcer, ready to introduce the next act, was silenced mid-breath. The crowd began to rise to their feet, not in outrage, not in awkwardness, but in awe. The air had changed. The moment had created a new energy, as if every heart in the room had been rewired. And still, Kai and Tan Songyun stood quietly. Behind their eyes, what couldn't be said. To understand the intensity of that moment, you'd need to look behind their eyes. Kai wasn't just a heartthrob. He wasn't merely delivering fan service. For him, that kiss was a risk, a leap from illusion to reality. His heartbeat thundered beneath his composed exterior. But his choice was deliberate. The world had watched them fall in love on screen more than once. But, tonight, he was choosing to let that spill over. Tan Songyun's mind raced, but not in panic. She felt the weight of millions of eyes, the roaring silence before the storm, the trembling uncertainty of what would follow. But in her chest bloomed something soft and profound. She felt seen, adored, not by a co-star, not by a scene partner, but by someone real. Kai had kissed her like she was not just a leading lady, but his leading lady. They didn't need a mic to be heard. The exit that echoed. With grace, Kai offered his arm. She took it. Together, they turned and walked off stage. Not hurried, not bashful, but with the calm of people who had just rewritten the script of the evening. And, perhaps, the script of their own story. As they disappeared into the shadows of the curtains, the applause returned. Louder now, uncontainable. People rose to their feet. Some cheered. Some chanted. But most simply watched, dazed, knowing they had witnessed a moment that would echo far beyond the night. Backstage, assistants ran toward them. Microphones were pushed in their faces. But they said nothing. Just a nod, a shared look, and a silence more powerful than any statement. A scene for the ages. The footage of that kiss would go on to be played, paused, slowed, and studied. Edits would explode online. Fan pages would light up like wildfire. The media would hunt for answers. But nothing could capture the magic of that exact moment. The perfect storm of timing, trust, and tension that made a single kiss on stage feel like the climax of a years-long drama no one knew they were part of. A kiss like that doesn't happen every day. It happens when two stars forget the cameras. When art slips into something real. When silence says more than any speech could. And when, just for one breathtaking moment, romance becomes reality in front of the whole world. When two stars collide, the night Kai and Tan Songyun shocked the world. It was a night framed in stardust and spotlight, the kind of evening that lingers in memory like a melody you can't quite shake. The grand ballroom glowed in golds and ivory, the stage lights sweeping over rows of bowed heads, camera flashes pulsing like distant thunder. The air practically trembled with expectation. Celebrities in shimmering gowns and tailored suits drifted across red carpets, Fans held their breath behind velvet ropes, and the hush of anticipation stretched taut as a drawn string. No one expected what came next. The build-up, a whisper in the wings. For weeks before the ceremony, rumors had swirled online. Whispers of Soo Kai's soft glances toward Tan Songyun on the red carpet. Speculation about their chemistry during press junkets. Some fans claimed he looked more alive when she entered a room. Others insisted she blushed when their eyes met. The drama fans on discussion boards watched every shared photo, dissected every pose, posted side-by-sides of their expressions. Even casual watchers felt a strange electricity in their interactions. Then came the nominations, the announcements, the camera panning across the audience. Soo Kai seated with a composed poise, Tan Songyun luminous in a gown that caught every light. They exchanged a glance, a flicker of mutual recognition in their eyes. The crowd murmured, phones raised, hearts raced. When the host called the award they were to present together, murmurs rose in the gallery. Soo Kai, Tan Songyun. The nameplate glinted. Together, their silhouettes advanced toward the stage, elegant, silent, and full of tension. On stage, a moment of gravity. As they reached center stage, the applauding crowd dimmed into a blur. The spotlight focused sharply on them, making the world contract. Soo Kai, in a midnight navy suit that hugged his frame, held a microphone. Tan Songyun, in a pale blush gown that made her skin glow, stood beside him, her fingers gently touching the lectern. They read the winner. They paused. The envelope cracked. The audience leaned in. Then, in that electric silence, Soo Kai turned to Tan Songyun. The opening chords of orchestral strings rose behind them, trailing off into nothing. And he moved slowly, deliberately closer to her. Even before their lips met, it felt like crossing a boundary no one else had dared approach. The audience exhaled collectively. Cameras flew, hearts hammering in every chest. When their lips finally met, it was a soft collision, charged and resolute. For one breathtaking heartbeat, the world shut out every other sound. The applause froze midair. The flashbulbs flickered in unison. Tan Songyun's eyes shut, her face serene. Soo Kai's expression held a mixture of longing, certainty, and perhaps relief. It was as though they had been propelling toward this moment through years of suspense, and now it had arrived. Then they parted barely. Her lips curved into a slight smile. He inclined his head. The audience, still stunned, erupted into cheers. Some fans screamed. Others wept. Some phones dropped. The moment was already immortal. Aftershock in the hall. The host, momentarily stunned, recovered. Cameras swung wildly. Broadcast feeds cut to shocked faces in the audience. Co-stars staring, hosts with dropped jaws. Fellow nominees whispering. Social media ignited instantly. In that sense of shock and elation, Soo Kai and Tan Songyun stood side by side, still in the spotlight, still tethered by the memory of that kiss. They finished their presentation, the winner announced, but the award felt secondary now. The kiss was the real prize. Backstage, the corridors bore echoes of gasps and exclamations. Reporters sprinted for statements, handlers urged calm. Fans pressed for glimpses behind velvet ropes. For days, hashtags trended. Articles piled up. Fan videos looped the moment on endless repeat. Everyone across Asia and beyond seemed transfixed. The aftermath, rumor, reality, and romance. In the digital jungles of fandom, everything exploded. Some fans hailed the kiss as confirmation of a hidden romance long whispered about in corners of the internet. Others cautioned it might be a bold marketing stunt. After all, the entertainment industry often traffics in spectacle. Yet others insisted the chemistry between them had been unmistakable ever since their collaboration announcement. Theories abounded. Secret meetings, script coercion, pure emotion, or a perfectly timed reveal. Insiders claimed they had worked together recently in a drama, earning praise for their palpable resonance. Some press speculated that the moment was pre-planned by a production team craving buzz. Others insisted it was utterly spontaneous, the honest expression of emotion at a moment too powerful to resist. Fans across platforms posted screenshots, slow-motion replays, emotional commentary. On a drama fan forum, one user wrote, "I always thought Kai and Tan Songyun had sparks, but I never expected this. The moment felt real, not staged." Reddit, another chimed in, "They just click. The kiss sealed everything for me." Reddit, celebrities and industry insiders weighed in too, some offering congratulations cloaked in neutrality, others attempting to steer the narrative to romantic marketing strategy. But even their words seemed secondary to what had transpired under the spotlight. Scenes that haunt the imagination. Let me take you deeper into that night. Imagine the red carpet earlier, Tan Songyun stepping out of a sleek car, fans stamping their feet, flashes exploding. Kai arriving moments later. Then, glimpses of him watching her, a soft half-smile, eyes bright, posture alert. Later, in stage corridors, they might have brushed shoulders, exchanged a nod. None of it overt, just currents beneath the surface. During the ceremony, the cameras panned. Kai caught in a side shot, leaning forward as if to hear better, his gaze fixed on her when she spoke. Tan Songyun occasionally glanced his way, as if drawn magnetically. The editing might have softened angles, but fans claimed the tension was raw and unfiltered. And then that kiss, the echo of their breaths, the shift of weight, the stillness before the world resumed. Imagine the silence before the applause thundered, a pregnant pause in time, the lights hovering on them, the background receding. For that one moment, they seemed to occupy a universe of their own. I picture the backstage, her hair slightly tousled, his suit jacket a bit rumpled from nerves, the hallway lights flickering overhead, reporters shoving microphones. The pair finally stepping aside, faces glowing, pulses pulsing, hearts still racing. Their handlers flanking them, flashing cameras. That electric hum in the air that persists after extraordinary events. What it means for fans, for romance, for the industry. Such a moment rewrites narratives. For fans, it offers hope that the lines between real and real may blur. It grants permission to believe in more than just chemistry, to believe in courageous gestures. It fuels speculation, inspires fan art, tears between those who wish it were true and those who fear it's just an illusion. For romance lovers, it's a statement, vulnerability in the public eye. It says that even in a polished world of facades, raw emotion can burst through. It hints at hidden stories, suppressed longing, the courage to act when the world watches. For the entertainment industry, the night spotlights both opportunity and risk.